Hello everyone, welcome back. Tonight we're going to dive back into material data design in XAML. There's a couple bugs I want to fix. Specifically, there's a few that have been reported where the reporter was kind enough to attach a full repository demonstrating the bug. I usually try to say that I will put in as much effort diagnosing and fixing as the reporter puts into doing it, and if somebody's going to go and stand up a whole example that accurately demonstrates it, we'll dive in and take a look and see if we can figure out what's going on. But first, lots of announcements. So, first of all, this week I was on Visual Studio Toolbox talking about MS Build. I had a great time doing it. If you are interested at all in MS Build, it was kind of a whirlwind thing. I only had about 55 minutes or so to talk. So it was great. I definitely had a lot more I could have dived into. There was plenty of rabbit trails that I tried to avoid going down because I was on a time limit and it wasn't, one of my streams like tonight. So if you are interested, check out the video. I'd love if people wanted to give likes. It's always great. If you are interested in the repository, there is the repository that I show off and kind of work through. The key thing to note is a lot of these additional resources down at the bottom of the README. That's where a lot of the coolness is, especially for fancy links and whatnot. So if you are at all interested, make sure that you are there. Do note the prerequisites. If you're going to try to run this, you do have to have the .NET 8.0 SDK and the NuGet CLI both installed, and then just run the build PS1 script, and you will be off to the races, and everything should work locally, and huzzah. Also, Get Kraken has put out a bunch of shorts. I produced a longer video for them, kind of going through cloud patches, and they have been slicing it up and putting together various shorts on cloud patches and whatnot. So feel free to check that out. Give them likes. They always seem to enjoy my stuff. So there it is. If you could, that would be great. Okay. One other thing I wanted to call out. So on the issue list, there is this thing. There are a handful of items that have shown up around memory leaks. And I've been trying to reproduce this, and my memory's gone down since I started the demo app. So I'm not currently able to reproduce this. And it could be that I am not currently actually running the 4.9.0 version. I'm running the latest 5.0. Maybe it's related to that. But there's now been a number of different references to potential memory leaks. This one specifically calls out Netcore 3.1. I'm mildly suspicious that it might be related to an older TFM, possibly, maybe. I'm not really sure. So if anyone is able to do so, I left a link on the issue in question. If you are able to reproduce a memory leak, if you could grab a memory dump file and then upload it somewhere. I put on the issue that the demo app is expected to be tiny. Like I put on here at 500 meg, you're already like double whatever I would expect the demo app to ever reach, right? It's not a big application. Of the memory that it's consuming, mine's, and admittedly I'm running latest a Net 8 version. The 125 meg, like 200 is like maybe still in the realm depending on different pages and whatnot, but it shouldn't be growing. If you see it growing at all, grab me a memory dump, and that would be very valuable in tracking it down. I'm also mildly suspicious that it could be related to WPF. There's been a couple issues that have come through where depending on hardware, memory leaks crop up, and my library makes the problem worse, but it's not actually a problem with the library, right? I just happen to go down a code path that otherwise wouldn't be exercised, and then it pops up. So if you were able to grab a memory dump, that would be incredibly helpful and whatnot. Okay, so this one. This is the one I wanted to look at first. So this case, dialog host focus problem. You don't need to read the issue. I'll just show it to you. It's pretty obvious. Props to the posted this. Alex HSO. I'm probably I don't know how to say it. We're gonna go with Alex. Um, this keeps happening, and I don't know why that happens. That concerns me. We're not going to stress about it. Here's the issue. Combo box repeatedly closes. That's kind of bad. Like, and the setup for this is not a complicated setup. So points awarded for making a very simple demonstration. Come on, Visual Studio. So we've got very simple dialog host. You'll note this looks, he commented that it was done straight from my template. So there's nothing that fancy. There's a combo box in here. Again, nothing fancy. There's a couple items in here. Again, nothing fancy, right? We can take a look at this guy here and right? We can't even get down to the thing, right? We have to use our arrow keys to actually trigger a selection at all. So that's not great. Betting, I didn't look at what the trigger was for showing the dialogue. Display platform dialogue. So it's literally the loaded thing. So your version, outside of arrow keys, there's not a way of actually getting the combo box to behave. So this is a problem. This is not something that I want to release in the 5.0 if I can help it, because this is pretty straightforward and simple of bug. So we are going to see if we can track down what is going on here, since this seems to be fairly straightforward and easy to reproduce. So, okay, how do we do this? So let's go back to the material design project. I'm going to confirm that I am pulled up and on latest. Great. Off to the races. Okay, so we're going to go, and I think I'm going to start with a UI test, because tests are my happy place. And it's going to end up being in here, and I think dialog host. Let's just do a new one, and we'll just build it out in here. So with combo box, come on, load it up. Thank you. I might just blatantly poach all of that code. I just want to look and see if there was anything special I needed to do in here. I don't think there is. No, it pretty much looks the same. The only thing I want to steal is this line here, just to give me the namespace include, so I don't have to think too hard. And then I think we're just going to come right back over to that sample application. And yeah, we're going to need to grab the dialog host instance itself. And we'll grab all of this, but we're going to throw a bunch of it away. So we'll come here, we'll go pudding, and then we're going to throw away pretty much all of it. Throw away that much of it. And then down here, we need the code behind. Then file scope namespace, clean that up. Thank you very much. And then let's see, what was in this particular case, the demo that was being done was literally just a show and then a user control. I think we can probably, I don't think it's going to be related to actually doing it inside of a user control like this. I think we can probably just pop the main dialogue and call it a day. What's your problem? Make method. Okay, sure. Async void, no. In this case, it has to be async void. It's a top level event handler. Don't yell at me. I know what I'm doing. Okay, why is it not Visual Studio? Give me my using statement. Using Zero Design Themes. Boom. Oh, it's because there's identifier. No? No X name there. Oh, the namespace matches. That's why it's confused. Okay. Oh boy, that confused me for a minute. Okay. Let's see. Wow. Zero design themes dot There we go. And you just got to fully qualify things until you find your way into the victory path. Okay. And then we are just going to leverage, because there is an overload here that doesn't take content. Let's see here. There is one that's just... I guess we can just leverage the identifier. And we're just going to send the content as empty string because it's not going to matter. We're going to hard code the content straight in place. Let's see. Dialog content. Boing, boing, doing, 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 doing. Then we're going to come over here. The content just needs to be something like this. And I think we're just going to grab all of that wholesale. No point in doing it fancy like. Okay, and then see, there was a floating hint combo box. There must be a resource include somewhere. No. How's that thing resolving? Clearly knows where it is. What is your problem? Oh, because this is probably been renamed? Look. Nope. Lacking a using statement? Nope. I have no idea what its problem is. It's just unhappy. Okay. Let's just verify it compiles before I get too carried away. And then we don't really need selection changed wired up. That's not a thing we're going to do. Come on. Come on, Visual Studio. You can do it. I know. Compiling's hard. Compiling's hard. Dialog host loaded. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Oh, when it made it async, it added the word async to the end of it. That is both helpful and incredibly stupid, Visual Studio. Knock it off. I've never seen it do that before. That's exciting. Okay. There. Output 1 succeeded. Great. Okay. So we've got that. Now let's come back down here. I'm going to collapse this. You can see we've kind of got all of these. So we're going to go fact. Let's see. Description. Wow. What we buccaneering today? Welcome, Izzy. Today I am poking at a couple issues that came in from people around things that I think I want to fix in the 5.0. So this is specifically a dialog host issue. It's a pretty easy one to see. Combo boxy, no stay open when in a dialog. That feels really bad. So not something I really want to release 5.0 with, so we're going to try and fix it. Or at least understand it before making a call. 3450. Oh, hang on. Go back. Yeah, fire away. What do you got? Public async task. Oh. Dialog host with combo box can select item. That seems like a pretty low bar. But clearly a bar that was a little too high. So let's see. Recorder.success. At some point, I'm going to look at trying to do... Oh, wow. Did you just... Okay, Copilot. You want to do the rest of it for me? Go on. No, that's incorrect, Copilot. Ha! See, I'm still the developer. And I think what we're going to do here is... think I just want to do task, delay, time span, from minutes, I don't know, 60. Yeah, it's important. I like to assert dominance over the AI, just to remind it which one of us is actually the developer. Okay, so now if I run said test, let's see. Is it possible to have hierarchical dialogues? A login dialogue that has a modal for errors, trying to avoid using message box. Great question. Great question. So, yes, sort of, but the setup for it's going to be yucky. So, there's not a clean way. There's not a clean way to have an arbitrary number of dialogues. Because right now the dialogue host is only one visible dialogue per host. So if you know that you are only going to have like a login dialogue and then a modal for errors on top of it, what you could do is you could have a dialogue host that wraps the whole thing, and then you could actually wrap that and yet one more dialogue host. It's kind of yucky to do that, but if you know you only need those layers, because each dialogue host functionally represents a layer, and you have to tell it what it's going to overlap on top of. It is also, when doing that, it will be important to make sure that you give them unique identifiers so that when you're showing them, if you don't use unique identifiers, you're left basically binding like is open or similar to be able to do that. But if you go through any of the static methods, you're going to need to make sure you have unique identifiers for each of them. So yes, you can kind of do it, but if you want sort of that generic level thing, it's not currently possible. It is interesting. The other thing you could do, yeah, absolutely. You can nest dialogue hosts inside of other dialogue hosts. The one time where you may want to or I should say, one other thing you may want to consider is the dialogue host has an alternate style. Let's see. Static resource. Where is it? There's the embedded dialogue host style that you can use. So the regular dialogue host itself, the dialogue is put into a pop-up control, which lets the content of your dialogue exceed the size of its parent window, which sometimes is desirable. There is a embedded one that you can use as well, but it literally just embeds the dialogue host inside the user the containing control, so it's part of that control's visual tree. It'll still put the dialogue on top of that stuff, but it won't be able to exceed the size of its parent control. So sometimes with the nesting, leveraging that embedded dialogue host is a very good idea. Like here, we can go ahead and demonstrate. We go here, we go dialogues, right? So these ones here, pop this, and if I shrink can I get this window down tiny enough to make this an obvious thing? There. So you can see how the dialogue is very obviously outside of its parent window, right? Whereas if we look over here, this guy here is inside of its containing content. And so you'll note now the window collapses over the top of it. And the subtle difference here is on the dialogue host itself. This line right here is what makes that difference of whether you use the embedded dialogue host or not. So, but there's nothing stopping you from putting multiple dialogue hosts inside of each other or putting one inside of a thing or similar to kind of control those layers. And it's quite common to do something like that. But it is an interesting idea to be able to break that rule to let it be, 1 to n rather than just 1 to 1 dialogue host to dialogue. The other thing you can kind of do as well is you could swap the content inside the dialogue, but that's probably not the UX that you want to go with. That's probably going to leave you in a worse situation. Just because you see like the dialogue size and that type of stuff change, and that's probably not what you want. Okay, I have clearly left this thing sorted in the wrong way. Go back. There we go. Okay, so this is what we want. Let's go see. Why did you fail? Probably a compilation error of some kind. Cannot convert visual element dialog host to visual element. Well, that's probably because Copilot screwed up. So let's see. Load user control. And Copilot probably made the assumption that I laid these out the exact same way. And see what happens, Copilot, when you assume? Add cool. So the width counter is going to be a little closer. Yeah, so this guy here is all, we just want that, I think. Yeah, we don't need to do anything. Because load user control tries to look at the content, and that's just not going to work. We're just going to do that. So Copilot, you're an idiot. And then carry on our merry way. Oh, and I will endeavor to remember this at the end of the stream as well, but there will be no stream next week. For those in the United States, it is Valentine's Day, and I will be spending it with my wife rather than streaming. So, sorry. Sorry, not sorry. That didn't show me a dialogue. Okay. Kind of like to know why it didn't show me a dialogue. Let's try this again. I think we have a base class here that lets me do something like attach debugger to remote process true. And now I can do think about it, Visual Studio. Think about it. What are you doing? You done? The studio, I'd really like to be in charge again. Thanks. Okay. Why is it just relaunch? Do I have like live unit testing turned on or something? No. What are you doing, Visual Studio? Very confused. Are you trying to run tests? No problem, Izzy. Happy to give you a break to catch up. And I do appreciate everybody who's dropped comments and whatnot on the videos. It's felt like there's been more comments than usual recently, and it's been usually fairly good comments. So I do appreciate it. On that MS Build video from the Visual Studio Toolbox, if people are interested in something a little more in depth, let me know. Happy to dive in on it. I do have a practical application using VeloPack that I could demo as well if people are interested. I do not understand what Visual Studio is doing. Hello. It's like it's trying to run tests this whole time, and I'd really like it if it would stop. Let's see. That's the dialogue host one. Let's go here. I don't know what you're doing, so we're just going to start terminating these until I find the one, that one, that's problematic. And that one, that's problematic. Okay. You done now? Thank you. I would like to launch my tests. Oh, I bet you it was hitting the task delay and didn't know what to do with itself. I should have a breakpoint here so I can appropriately kill it. Would it have hit that? It would have, because if it launched without debugging, it would have hit that and just kind of hung there for 60 minutes or so. Okay, there we are. So now it's going to show the dialogue. Come on, Visual Studio. I know this is really hard for you. I see, not responding. Hello. You are struggling tonight. You didn't have these problems earlier. What are you unhappy about, Visual Studio? Okay, this is getting a little redonkulous. Would like to hit the continue button. Thank you. Would like to hit. Wow, Visual Studio. Okay, whichever one of you extensions is doing bad things, I'd like to smack you silly right now. Okay, so unless I'm just sorry, I'm scanning my other monitors to make sure like the dialogue didn't pop into some other corner of the universe, which occasionally happens. Okay, I don't see it. We're gonna go hunting for it. Come here, dialogue host. Where are you? Okay, so there. Give me access. Okay, dialogue host. There you are. Is open. Let's just start with that. Okay, off. On. So it thinks the dialogue's there. There's the pop-up. There's the grid. Okay. Thinks the pop-up is open. Oh. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Because I call okay. So it turns out when you tell the dialogue host that the content should be empty string, it renders an empty string. See, that's a big brain part right there. Okay, we're gonna just go about this. Sounds like it's on the same boat as my work C line instance that just randomly stops allowing me to type visible characters, do copy and paste, and random stuff. Yeah, there's a weird bug in Visual Studio I run into every so often. It doesn't happen a lot, but I will have a tab open and it either denies backspace or space. And like I can type letters, but those characters are just no, or keystrokes just no. And it's I've yet to figure out what causes it or how to fix. I just restart Visual Studio. The only nice part is Visual Studio starts up fast enough now that it doesn't matter as much. Let's see. X name sample dialogue host. We're gonna just go about this a different way. We're gonna go sample dialogue host. Let's see. Is open gets true. There. That should get me something a little closer to success. Because I don't think the bug is with how the dialogue is opened. I think the bug is with the fact that there is a combo box inside of a dialogue. Probably should go turn off that attach. There we go. Okay, does it reproduce? Okay, excellent. We have successfully reproduced the bug. Visual Studio is now contemplating where to show me the execution pointer. Wow, Visual Studio, you are not doing well today. Wow, so I was able to get to that dialogue and click multiple times before it realized that we were all the way here. Excellent. You are on point, Visual Studio. Excuse me. Okay, so let's go and hunt. Now, the nice part here is the original poster had. So he called out a related issue, and then specifically, this PR here was the one that was rumored to be the problem. So we might be, so we can test this theory really quick. Right, is we can just grab, well, one, we can just go revert this change and see what happens here. So fix dialogue focus. If we go here, we go here. Let's see. Just do that. What is it? Is it history? No, it's not history. I want to search commits. Commits. There. That's what I want. That one. So I want to take this thing and I want to do a revert. Do not immediately commit. There was a conflict. Of course there was. I just kind of want to take everything on this side. Yeah, that kind of sounds like what I want. Give me that. Okay, and then I want to pop my stash. Okay, fine. Great branch. Foo. Shut up. Quit your whining. Let's see. Revert. Commit. Pop. Let's see. Reset mixed. Or I guess I want to go reset mixed. There we go. Okay. That was a little harder than it should have been. But our dialog host now should be back to the old one. Right? Right. So Studio's hopefully done losing its mind. We're going to turn off the attached debugger. And we are just going to run the test. And then I want to see if this thing reproduces. Type namespace. Apparently I must have dropped a curly brace or something when I did that. Excellent. I was worried it would be easy. Let's look real quick. Oh, it didn't properly revert, did it? Oh, that didn't. Okay, so I need to go look at 835. Let's see. Because I think what we want is this guy to replace this. I think if we look at the prior, which commits, this guy here, if we look at the prior side of this commit, that's closer to what it was. So command manager, invalidate query, visual depth, dispatcher invoke. Visual depth, dispatcher invoke. Okay. That looks like a lot closer. Okay, rinse, repeat, try again. Let's see if in fact that PR was the cause. Because if it was, I suspect there's just going to be a is contained within if statement added, and then we call it a day. No, that is in fact not the cause. Okay, I am curious where the wrong crosshairs. Let's try that again. I am curious what the keyboard focus. So I'm watching down here in the bottom of Snoop, this current focus scope and current focused element. Keep an eye on those. Interesting, and it's pulling up really quick. Is it the pop-up control? I'm now curious. Okay, well, we can eliminate let's before we get too carried away, let's start by throwing away that revert real fast. So let's see here. Dialog host test we want to keep. So this revert, that may be part of it, but it's definitely not the full explanation. Okay, so let's go here. Let's go combo box pop up. And I think I kind of just want to grab it here. I kind of just want to grab it here because we should be coming through this on closed regardless. And I kind of want to see what's triggering that. Okay. So we're going to close this window so that the test will then go through and kill itself. Oh, it won't kill itself, will it? Nope. Build canceled. Don't run that. Thank you very much. Okay. We're going to turn this back on. So I want to be debugging the other side. And then I want to step in and see when I hit that breakpoint on pop-up closed, how did I get there? Because there's got to be a focus move somewhere. I'm just hoping it's not an asynchronous one. If it's synchronous, it'll be right in my call stack, and I can just walk up the call stack and look at it. So we're gonna test and see if the easy case works. And we'll just deal with Visual Studio losing its mind. Clearly not okay with me doing bad stuff to the debugger. Okay, so if I go here, thinking. Go ahead here, Visual Studio. I'm gonna give you a hint. There you go. That window. Okay, call stack. Where did we come from? You're really not making this easy on me, Visual Studio, at all. I could go spin this in the demo app quicker if you're gonna behave like this. I am not that patient. Okay. Dispatcher timer. Oh. Well, that is interesting. So it's not coming anywhere from me, which means it's probably asynchronous. Probably asynchronous. Okay. That's unfortunate for a number of reasons. Okay, Visual Studio, you are just annoying me. Okay, so in an effort to not hate my life doing this debugging, Visual Studio, you are just not doing yourself any favors today. Okay, let's just go here. We're gonna change my launch settings so that it launches dialogues, and then we're gonna come over here, sample one, dialogue content, and I would like to just grab my test code and I'm gonna just slap it into that. The samples, dialogue host, this guy. So I would like to just take you and we're just gonna dump it straight into the demo app. Yeah, right at the bottom sounds great. Name's not relevant, grid row's not relevant. We're inside of a stack panel. So just confirm real quick that it reproduces. But I'm expecting to hit that same breakpoint in the closed, and then we may have to start hunting some of these things to figure out where the heck it's coming from. Okay, so here, and it works. Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Is it do I have to hang on, theory. The theory is that the combo box either has to be the first focusable element or the only focusable element. Who's referencing fruit text box? Don't care. And also don't care. Interesting. Close dialogue with parameter. Huh. Wonder why we do it in both cases. That worked as well. And okay, the plot thickens. Turn this breakpoint off. There we go. Okay, so the breakpoint was giving me bad data. Okay, so there's something around the focus changing. Either of the dialogue host or the we should be hitting this, are we? No. So it's not the focus pop-up. Let me just check these real quick just to make sure we aren't hitting any of these callbacks. No. Okay, so it's not there. Okay, why are we grab our Snoop again real quick and let's see if we can chase this. Okay, so well, I wish I could see what that thing was switching to. It was switching to something and then going straight back to the combo box. Let's see, events. Let's see, let's go in here. I think we can grab focus events here. Got focus, great. How about lost focus too? That sounds like something useful. Don't care about any of the mouse events while we're doing this. Clear. Okay, so if I come here, I go here. Got focus. Pop-up route, lost focus. So the pop-up route is getting the focus. It's not the pop-up EX that's biting me, is it? Because we've got a pop-up and a pop-up. Because this guy here derives. No, well, hold up. Wait. Got focus, pop-up route. Okay. And that works its all the way up. What is going on here? Relative content. This is only chasing the child property. Placement. This is all about where it starts. None of those should matter. It's got to be in the dialogue host itself. Those are just all the show ones. Okay. Is open property changed callback? You shouldn't be triggering. Okay. Gotta be in here. Size changed, activated, deactivated. I'm gonna go with it's one of you guys that's that topmost state, maybe? Grab you here and see what happens. If I go here, call stack. How did I get here? Host window activated. Got it. But it okay, and then what happens? From visual child, early return. Okay. Let's look at our local window here real quick because don't know which instance this is. Wow, okay, we might just be pounding on that. Okay. Show me your usages because I have to believe this is the pop-up box, dialog host are the only two instances. Combo box is just using a regular pop-up. So it's got to be fighting with that. Let's see here. So this one, if we look in Snoop land, inside of my dialog host, yeah, it has this guy. Somebody's moving focus. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is it right there? Is that it? Well, let's easy way to find out. On preview. Let's see. I'd like to know when we're hitting this, but a breakpoint is problematic, so we are just going to do output. Uh, gonna do that for the moment, and then where's my output window? In that sucker where I can keep an eye on it and clear him. Come back over here. Look at that. Okay, so that seems potentially very plausible. Try this. Let's try this. What was the fix that went in here? Preview. We might have to go look at what bug was being fixed because this might be trading one bug for another. Yep, you aren't relevant. Go away. That's it. Okay. So now the next question. Obviously, that code was added for a reason. Question is, what bug are we going to break when I remove this? So we want to look at the let's see, history, dialog host. Show it to me. Oh, look at that. So this was the issue with the IME dialog. Ah, ha 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 ha. Okay. Well, that is unfortunate. So the IME dialog one, because I remember this one. This one has this one plagued us for a while. 3147. We go here. We go issues. This guy here. And the issue was that by not repositioning this guy, we ended up with him all over because and this only is going to be a loose explanation. I don't see Andrew on. I was just going to ask him. For things like Japanese and Chinese and similar, there's this extra input dialogue, and I am your typical dumb American who only knows English. So I rely heavily on people who actually know other languages to be able to help me out on these things. But the expectation is that this, we'll call it a keyboard helper dialog, actually tracks with the text box that's being filled in. And so you can see up here, the dialog finds the text box on screen and draws it in there appropriately. Great. And this is just a built-in Windows feature, by the way. But it's a feature most people don't see, or at least most people in my audience don't see, because most people like me are English-speaking developers, which is kind of my target audience, because I don't know any other languages. But because our dialogue is in a pop-up and we weren't properly positioning it, this guy was losing his mind. So what we need to do here is clearly if we comment it out, that's bad, because that's no working. Preview got keyboard focus. I'm kind of wondering, because the idea is we need to know if the focused element is an input field. Presentation source. Because this grabs a handle of the child of the pop-up. So this is specifically saying, okay, when the dialog host gets keyboard focus, the dialog host itself, should it actually be receiving focus? I don't know if it should be. I'm going to test this. And the unfortunate part is I'm probably going to have to pitch any fix I do back to Andrew to test, or if anyone here happens to run with Chinese or Japanese locales set up on their Windows, that'd be great. I know 5 languages: C, C++, C#, English, and bad English. So I may get in trouble for saying this, but I'm from Washington State, and during high school there was a graduation requirement of everybody needing a foreign language. Wait. What? Work. Oh, weird. Sorry. Anyway, everyone needed a foreign language credit. And I was homeschooled all the way up through my junior year in high school, so 11th grade. And at that point, we have a program called Running Start, where you can start going to university and take classes there that count both for high school and university credit, which is great. And because I had done that, and because I was homeschooled, I was put in a fun position where I was able to put together my own high school transcript, and I just had to get an advisor to sign off on it. Well, somewhat as a joke, for my foreign language, I put down Java. And somehow that worked. I'm pretty sure it wasn't supposed to work. I found out years later that I think it's Indonesia. There actually is a place where Java is a spoken language. Now, obviously, I do not know said language. When I said Java, I was very much referring to the programming language, which, so, to this day, that has been my foreign language. And then clearly I got into industry and switched gears and went to C# over Java. Okay, so, curious why we're getting this preview. Oh, because it's a tunneling event, not a bubbling event. Got it. Okay. Lesson time. Okay, so in WPF, there are 2 types of events: tunneling and bubbling. And the easiest way to understand them is to look at them from the perspective of what route am I at? This will work. From the perspective of the visual tree. So I've got a visual tree here, and way down here, I've got this border control, right? So when I do a click, for example, there's a preview mouse down button. And what happens is that preview mouse down event starts at the top and tunnels its way down until it gets to the current element. And then, so that's the preview mouse down. And then that turns around, and then there's the like left mouse button down or mouse down event. Probably butchering the names, right? Bubbling event that starts from here and bubbles in the opposite direction all the way up, right? And there's fun things with the events where you'll see the event args where you can say, oh, did an event handle this? Because the thing is, if an element says yes, I handled the event, that doesn't actually stop the event from propagating up or down, right? It still does go up or down. The difference is that flag on the event args is now set to true. And unless you've used the static methods to register for that, the default handlers for that won't be invoked, right? So you don't get those things going back and forth. This guy here is a tunneling event. Yeah, so if we look at preview got keyboard focus, I bet you we can see this guy. I bet you we can see this guy. Preview got keyboard focus. All right, so we come over here, and if I just put you onto the side a little bit, bring you out, and I go click there. All right, so we can see preview got keyboard focus, started at the main window, and ran all the way down until it got to the target element, which in this case was the pop-up root inside of the pop-up itself. And then it technically switched gears and jumped inside of the pop-up. And then the yeah, because this is really, I'm wondering if this is actually the event that we want. Like, this is clearly the fix. I'm just trying to think what we actually care about. I think it is got keyboard focused, but I'm wondering if there should be a check down here to make sure. Okay, I want to check. Now that I know what's doing it, I want to check one more thing. Because we didn't see the bug immediately reproduce with the other elements in here. I am wondering if there is an issue where this set focus isn't problematic when there is an input element available. Oh, interesting. So it is a problem. It's just not a problem initially. Ah. Okay. Okay. So this is interesting. I am wondering if I can fix it like this. Is keyboard focus within? I wonder if I can fix it like that. Because that would make some sense. That would make some sense. Click. Click. Yeah, and if I do that, I kind of want to move you up here. And I want to get my output window open because I want to verify. We know that we need to call this when the focus moves to the text box. We know we need this method. Five didn't go there. Interesting. Okay. I suspect this may be a possible fix. I am going to push this, and then I'm going to tag Andrew and see if he wouldn't mind doing a test for me. I don't know. Let's try to write. First of all, we're gonna throw those things away real quick. We're not gonna stage that. I don't really want to stage that, but I do want. Well, let's see if we can actually write out the test. Discard line. Okay, so let's go back to our UI test and let's just make sure we can have a working test for this. All right, so inside of here, dialog host get element. And I think, what did we call that thing? Targeted platform. Right, so we want to do why am I blanking on my own APIs? Get element. Oh. Combo box. And it is going to be with that name. Let's see. Var combo box gets await. Okay. That gets me to there. Fix the spelling issue. We can fix the spelling issue. I got heckled today by one of my teammates because I've gotten a small reputation for every time I see now that I have a spell checker. So to be clear, I'm a horrible speller. So I usually don't give people too much crap when I find typos and misspellings because I'm just as bad as anyone else. But because I have a spell checker, I've been finding a bunch. And there was one in some code I had been editing, and the comment on the PR was, "Hey, how come this one got a pass?" I'm like, "Dang it, I missed that one." It was like the file had a bunch of squiggles, so I was just kind of ignoring it because there was a bunch of not necessarily misspelled strings, but like they were just kind of like keyboard mash because I need random data, and so there was all kinds of squiggles, and my brain just kind of turned the spell checker mode off internally. Let's see, combo box. Let's see, left click. Let's see, wait. And then combo box, get element, combo box, item. Let's see. Yeah, we can just do that. And I think it'll just grab the first one. Var item, it's a wait. Let's see. Yeah, click the left item. And then we want to do combo box. Let's see. How about get text? Right, and we will do var text gets wait, and then insert equal, is it item 1, I think, equal to text, something like that. Right, no space, item. Okay, so first of all, we think this now works, so let's run the test. Didn't work. Okay, so that's exciting. Let's see. Failed to find child element of type combo box item. Yeah, so let's do. Why not? I guess we can probably do this. Then we can go. We might have to go into the pop-up. Let me just look at some of these other ones to see how do they reach inside the dialogue. Close dialogue button. Let's just look at the with counter one and see how they grab it. Let's see. With Counter. How do they grab the close dialog button? Just by name. Oh, because the name lookup isn't going to be going by type. Ugh. Okay, that works. Do that. Call. No sense making our life hard. Do that. And that. Good now. What is your problem? Didn't look like it found the element. Failed to find child element with name. Oh, because it's in. Okay. Grumble, 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 grumble. Let me just go look. How do we do the combo box stuff up here? Let's see. Combo box. That's the clear item. One of you has to be clicking on a item. Let's see. Not how you spell combo box. See? I can fix these. Let's see. Part edible. How come none of these are actually clicking on elements? No one bothered to actually do that yet? What? That's a little unnerving. Okay, fine. We might have to go at it. Well, no, it still has the name. Still has the name, so it should find it. We might have to, Oh, I wonder if it's just not there yet. Hang on. Theory. Await, test, delay. This is horrible. Don't do this. This is a, do as I say, not as I do. Theory is that the item doesn't exist until the pop-up's shown. Nope. Same issue, I bet. Yeah, element of type, combo box item. Oh, does not match desired type. Oh, wait. Combo box wait, am I just an idiot? Oh, yeah, I'm an idiot. Pro tip, read the error message. Amazing how many bugs will go away just by doing that. Oh, it was off. We're going to discount that one because, okay, let's go back here and do the await task delay because that's where we saw it before. And then, no, Copilot, I'm not putting in that. It concerns me that you think I need to. Okay. I mean, that clearly selected. Let's see. Strings differ. Let's see. Get selected index. We can just do that because selected index will work. Oh. We don't need the text because it's not an editable one. Let's see. So I think what we have to do here is we need to do a wait for, and then we can do this. Think. Get away with that. Yeah? Boom. And then we go await here. So we will wait for the element to show up. And then we will do another wait for here. Because this guy may not, we have to give it a little bit of time. Close. We'll do that. Okay, so Couple of waits to give it an opportunity to do what it needs to do. Huh. It didn't. It's like the combo box isn't working. That's no bueno. What's going on here? Expected 1, actual -1. Yep, that generally is what occurs. Just one day. Okay. I want to launch this test, and then I want to, once it does its thing, oh, interesting. It still triggers. Weird. Weird. Okay. This is wonderful. Okay. So that's very interesting. Try the demo app real quick. Did I undo those changes? I think I did. Weird. Okay, hang on. I want to look at this output now. Why it... Okay. So let's go take a look. We're clearly getting there. It's interesting that triggers got keyboard focus because the keyboard focus is inside of it. Interesting. Boy, we might have to dial this down even further. I'm trying to avoid just saying all text boxes, but I'm getting close to that. Getting very close to that. Where is it? Where are you? So is keyboard focus within is true. See here. I'm wondering, I don't think this is going to be scoped well enough. I'm trying to think of everything that implements I input element now. It's not a huge number of items. But combo box is clearly one of them. Focused elements, combo box is... Because combo box might have a text box inside of it. Hey, good morning to those in Germany. Why? Why must you be so difficult? I really don't want to do something crazy like... Right? Like, I could do something crazy like that. I just hate that. That looks so hacky. And it looks ugly. And it makes me feel sad inside. I do wonder if this event needs to fire every time too, or if it just needs to occur when the dialogue is first opened. Like, I'm wondering if we could unregister the event after it's fired once per dialogue. Like, does it need to keep persisting? Why is that firing then? Oh, it was just the switch. Interesting, that first click didn't seem to do it. Open. Yeah, that first click. Man. I don't want to just revert the change, but it is one that is breaking enough stuff. Okay. Let's go here. Go here. Of all the times for Andrew not to be on. It's a very unfortunate one for you to miss, Andrew. Okay. Let's confirm that the test works if I remove this. So I want to verify that the test is in a working state, because it would be nice to have a branch that says, okay, change whatever you need, but the test needs to work at the end of the day. Because that then gives me a little bit more confidence when the bug is actually fixed both ways. See, that didn't work. That worked. Okay. Kill that real quick. Left click, wait for element. Await task delay. Go with time span from seconds 1. I suspect the animation of the pop-up is too fast. Is my working theory. And there's no good way to know. That was way too quick. That was way too quick. Okay, something's up. Something's up. Comment that out. Comment this out. I want to try it myself. Because now I'm wondering if there's... Kill the test runner. I am wondering if there is... Click. Click. That worked. Alright. So... that tells me that the issue is here. Let's see. Oh, we don't pop the dialogue until... Right. We don't pop the dialogue immediately. We pop the dialogue in the onloaded event handler. So we don't actually know when the dialogue is opened. Try that. Kill that. I hate putting task delays in everywhere, but certain animations there's just no easy way to know about. Here we go. Slow it down a little bit and it works just fine. Okay. Okay, so this is here. This is here. I am going to push this. I don't want to commit that, but I do want to commit these. Yeah, we can fix the typo there. Let's see here. Let's see. This reverts the fix that was done for. Okay. Let's see. Same issue with combo boxes in dialog post. Because combo boxes inside of dialogues are more common than the IME dialogue. I just don't want to choose between them. I want both. Need to revisit a fix that was done. Find an alternative. Or at least scope the change down a little bit, I think is the key. Okay, my branch name needs to not be foo. Let's rename foo to be something more like issue, and then insert issue number here. 3450. And then Alex, thank you very much for reporting this. Because I much prefer getting bug reports before a release, not after. Okay, so push in PR, submit. Let's see here, and then I don't know if there's any label to put on it for now. I think I am going to come over here and uh taking a look. There is a way to limit how often we call it was focused something. Focused that focus. Often we call focus. Here's to close the pop-up in the combo box. Okay, so we're going to do that there. I would like to put this in the 5.0 milestone. Go through an address. And we're going to leave it about like that. Yeah, because I think that will, like I said, I'd like to see about getting that fixed. I'd hate to just revert the other fix and yank it back out because that's trading one bug for another. But it would be nice to be able to do it. Okay. Let's see. Buttons and dialogue broken 4.8. So the nice part, this one here, once again, there was a reproduction repo, and I very much approve of these. So you know what? Let's try this. Open with Kraken. This is a we'll just clone. I'd kind of like to put you in a different directory. Here, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna just slide it to the side real quick. Well, because I don't know what all is in my temp directory, so I'm nothing there. Nothing there. Clone repo. Open repo. Open folder. Double click folder. Okay. And we're going to take a quick look at this one real quick and see if we have a chance of solving this one, because this is another one that looked like it might be a 5.0 change. Let's see. Enter a value into this text box. Click on the Open Buggy Dialog button. You will see the bad dialog. Clear the text box. Click the button again. You will see the good dialog. Okay. So Seems straightforward. Launch. Let's see if it reproduces. I'm not entirely clear what the... Oh, it looks like things are missing. Okay. So it's potentially a rendering issue. Type of value. Open buggy dialog. All the values are missing. Cancel. Clear this. All the values are working. Okay, well, that is... So the bug reproduces nicely. Let's go take a look at what this code is doing and see. I'm realizing after what we just did a moment ago that there's a very real chance that this is an issue with that static call. Ooh, message box. Yuck. Okay. Let's see. It's a demo app. It's okay. Just a demo app. Window helper fix layout. What does this do? Huh. Curious. First initialize. Has unwanted outline on right and bottom. Interesting. Okay, I might go look that one up later. Okay, so what I would like to see is what actually triggers when I click that button. Open buggy dialog. And so this is great. Show the dialog. Oh, so does this thing derive from window? Does. Okay. So this thing is... Got it. So it's calling out here as well. There is this weird window Chrome bit. It's interesting that when you change it, it's weird that it's so specific. Weird. Why would the presence or absence of a value in a text box change the width from 160 to 170 and everything will work just fine? What? No. No way. You're joking. Holy cow. No way. Making that text box have a width of 160, typing a value into it, and then showing a different window causes elements on that window to not render properly. What the heck? That is wow. Okay. Well, we're snooping this thing for starters. So one thing I am noticing that I'm mildly skeptical of, this is using custom window Chrome. So things can go wrong, right? But with that said, shouldn't go that wrong. Wait, what? Okay, this is interesting. So I'm just noticing Snoop is struggling here to load the list of properties. What's the task? Is this thing spinning? Is that the problem? Is this thing caught in some sort of loop? Look, let's look. I'm now... Dialog host issue. That ain't it. Let's try a different one. Are you the guy? No, that's material design tool. Guy. Ah, okay. There's the kicker. There's the kicker. Okay, so key thing to catch here. CPU is not idle. Not idle. This thing, I'm willing to bet, is stuck in a loop of some kind. And I'm going to go out on a limb and guess this guy here. No. Okay, where are you? Somebody's stuck in a loop. That ain't it. There's a blind try to catch it. Okay, somebody's spinning. And I'm not sure who yet. Because that took way too long for this thing to load up, right? And so Snoop, in order to be able to populate these properties, has to run on the UI thread, right? So it has to be able to evaluate this. And if Snoop is taking a while to run, to evaluate and like filter these properties, because the UI thread is busy. It's doing something. Now, the only thing that's interesting is the UI thread is both blocked and not blocked. I'm curious what happens. What happens if we do this? What if we do dialog.show? Right? And what is this null constructor parameter? Parent window. So that's valid. Okay, so what happens if I type a value in? There's something going. Okay. We're gonna just start axing some stuff here real quick. It's got to be in here somewhere. I want to blame the window Chrome first, because that is a very likely potential, in my opinion. Let's see here. Let's see. Get window Chrome. Wait, there's an on window loaded. And then there's a size change. Again, I'm suspecting there's something in here like that. Okay, if I do this. Same issue. Right? And if we check, yeah, it's doing something. What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, let's pop this guy open. You're not doing much, but you're doing something. CPU usage. Let's see here. On CPU profiling, see. Visual Studio may just die on me by turning this on. Okay, so break all. We only have CPU profiling for the, probably not obvious, the little section here in green. This is all we're gonna have profiling data for. But I'm curious what functions show. Okay, so let's see here. Window freezable, add inheritance. The vast majority of this is in kernel. The hot path is in main. Well, you know what? Visual Studio main generally does contain a large portion of the CPU time. Not real shocker there. What I was hoping to see is something that indicated what was doing this. Because that doesn't give me a lot to work with, Visual Studio. Okay, so if that's the case, close that down, you down, and we'll stop execution. Okay. Could it be here? Could it be here? There's no more event. I'm looking for now event handlers or other weird things going on. There's just not a lot here to have those problems with. And that text box on the main window having its size changed. Now, is the CPU usage go to 0 here? Yeah, look at that. The CPU usage goes to 0. Right? Which, as it should. Right? Okay. Relaunch one more time. If we type one in and open buggy dialog, it spins. It's straight up spinning. What? So confused as to what the relationship between these is. Material design outline text box. Is there a material design outline text box here? There's a few of them. There is a few of them. So, okay, if we axe, there's something weird in the style where there's something static being shared across them. This has got to be one of the most perplexing issues I have ever seen. Mouse left, but so sorry, I'm looking at all these event handlers now. Is it possible it's this? There's no more event handlers than there. Just, I don't understand. Okay, so we go here. Go here. We hit the loaded event, which makes sense. We're left here, and the click triggered that. Okay, that's all fine. Why would that spin? Okay, next question. Next question. If I take out material design theme stuff, if we axe that, does the problem go away? Do that. I guess we don't need to remove that per se. We come over here. Let's see. There are. Ooh, you generally don't want to use static resource for your brushes, but in demo app. Um, and it's less bad as long as you don't do any theming or similar changes mid-run. If you're setting it once in your app.xaml and never touching it again, you're fine. Okay. Okay, so there we are. Open buggy dialog. Great. I'm going to kill these breakpoints. Launch. Okay, so there's some background stuff. It's a little weird, but the thing goes to 0. Okay. Type something in. Open buggy dialog. Eventually got to 0. Interesting that it. Okay. Why is. Oh, the background is nulling out and the foreground element is going there. Okay. Nav to device pixels, Ulea, Windows style, none. Okay, so if we go here, 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 works. If we do. Okay, so let's go back. Got a bunch of changes here. Just discard the XAML. I'll leave all of those separate. We're going to throw that away because that doesn't seem to make a difference. Take a look in here. All right, I'll try this again. Wow, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I type a D, open, and it works. It works. Okay. That means that the issue has got to be here, right? If I do this, discard selection, and we relaunch, we go here, broken. And if the only change I make is the removal of this style, and I relaunch, we do the same thing. Works just fine. Okay, there is something in that style. Something in that style is getting itself locked in a loop. Okay. I mean that okay, so that narrows it down very explicitly. Something about this guy here. Now I'm curious. Does the CPU spin just from his presence, even without the dialogue? It does. Ah. So it has nothing to do with the dialogue. It has everything to do with just that guy there. Okay. I mean, that makes the reproduction project really, really simple. We don't even need the dialogue. So he's doing something. Let's see, real quick. Tools, options. I bet you we can catch this guy. I'd like to know where. Let's see. General. Oh, enable just my code is off. And actually, which version of the project? This is referencing 4.8. Okay, so let's go at. Let's see. Let's see what happens when we rev ourselves up. Um, the latest 5.0 preview. Let's see. Is this a problem on latest? So it clearly reproduces very easily on 4.8. Okay. Does it reproduce here? Because maybe this is fixed already before we chase it. Just check the latest preview. Okay, 0. Look at that. Okay. Something has got itself all wrapped around the axle. Freezable CS. Show me where we're at. This is the same one that it showed up on before. No. Call stack. Canvas, arrange, override. See, I'm looking to see, because it may not be the material design and XAML library specifically, but it's probably something that the library is doing that's triggering this. Would be my theory. Okay. Just gonna pop the dialog to make sure. Oh, we have static resources all over here. Ugh. Because all the brushes are changed. Let's see. Well, hang on. We can just fix the brushes. Let's see. What is it? Sign. What is the color now? I don't remember what it's called. It's color theme something something something. Take me there. Let's see. Secondary mid. I want to look and see where is the. Where does it actually get assigned to the resource dictionary? There, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. This thing was what before? Dark separator background. I heard doesn't need to exist. Same with you. Get rid of that. Try this again. Okay. And then just to be clear, we're going to put this back. Put this back. We are going to put all of that is as it should be. Yep, yep, yep. And I want to verify we still see the bug. And then I want to remove just the style, so we're down to the one change. So clearly happens there. Works there. Great. Okay. Now if I go here, if I remove just this style and nothing else, relaunch. See, there, works. Yep. Type, there, works. So it's something about the outline style that's triggering it. And it exists on latest. Yeah, this is, well, go take a quick gander at that style real quick. And actually, I'm curious if I see this in the demo app too. I kind of suspect I should. If I go fields, right? And because I've got the outline fields here, do I see the thing just going? Don't. So there's something about the size of it. There's something about the size of it that is causing that to occur, or something inside of it causing the size of it to shift or change. That anymore. Go away. Wanted the other Visual Studio. I want to snoop this guy one more time. There's something weird going on here, and I'm wondering if vents. I want to know, is there a size change or similar triggering? It doesn't give me like framework element. Size change. Here we are. Size change is triggering just by mouse over it? Seems weird. Why is it doing that? Why is it triggering size changed events? Clear it. So on mouse enter and mouse leave, would it be hovering adding a border? It's very possible. Very, very possible. Okay, I said we were going to go look at the style, and then I didn't actually open it. I don't want to look in the demo. I want to look at the actual declaration. Don't want to look at the tests. Okay, so the only thing different between him and the floating hint text box. Well, let's try this. Let's dial it down to just the floating hint text box and see if it still replicates. All right, step one. We've identified at least part of where this is coming from. So if we go here and we make you just a floating hint text box, do you also replicate the bug? Okay, so if we go here. Oh, that's interesting. Well, so there's only two things different between these. The corner radius and text field assist has outline text field. Let's try turning this guy on, because it's I think blaming the outline is the most likely explanation. So let's check that. If we do material design : paste, right? Does that replicate the bug? Interesting. It's also interesting that it looks the way that it does. Kind of expected a slightly different look. Was already true in the style. So the style it was originally using was outline text box, which is based on floating hint text box. Oh, wait, I'm an idiot. I was looking at this one. Never mind. Hang on. I'm an idiot. We compared it with this other one, and that's not an accurate comparison. We want to compare it with this. Oh, wait, we did. Okay, we compared it with its base. I was just looking at the wrong one. Okay. So, with just the base style, the problem does not replicate. The weirdest thing ever. Right? So, just with the base style doesn't replicate. We go, and then we'll just confirm everything, right? If we go back to the outline text box, and the only difference in these two styles, right? Yeah, so the only difference in these styles is there's a padding, an outline, and a corner radius. That's it. Right? So we're going to start here and see one or all three of those is to blame. Right? So we'll go back to here. I think what we saw before is this by itself doesn't do it. I can't conclude that it's not the problem, but by itself, right? Perfectly fine. Okay? So that's fine. Fine. Let's add in, I think the next likely one is the padding. I'm going to just look this up. 16, 16, 12, 16. We're going to straight hard code the padding rather than using the constant. I want to eliminate as many of these as possible. So boom. Right? That's the reason that thing's so big. And it's only there for the hint bits. I go here. Okay. Okay. So adding the padding causes it to reproduce. If I turn this off, is it just the padding? This padding plus outline definitely does it. Okay. Padding plus outline is the trigger. Okay. So if you make those two changes, that replicates the bug. Okay. So some combination of those two things together trigger this issue. Interesting. Okay. Well, obviously neither one of these are used here, so we'll go all the way into the base. And the base doesn't do anything. Chase it all the way in. Here we are. Here's the template. So we are specifically going after things that are related to the padding or related to the outline. Right? So if we come in here, padding. So the border itself has a padding, which I think kind of makes sense. Would the other assist also trigger it with the padding? Oh, good question. We can find out. We can test that real quick. Let me scroll back down and see what it was. Let's see. So the corner radius was the last one. Wondering if this assist has something to do with. Oh, that's a good point. Here, let's just. Uh, I. Most of the assist classes are just attached properties with no behavior behind them. A handful of them do have behavior though. So worthwhile checking. So if we replace this, I think it was just a 4. Yeah, so it was just 4. Stop it. Okay, so if we just do that, see what that does. Visual Studio. Where's the app? There we go. Okay, so if I go here, no. So the corner radius plus padding does not do it. Okay, so we'll go back to the failure case. So has outlined and padding triggers. Back up here. The padding is applied at the top level border. That is likely irrelevant. There's some padding on the clear button. That's likely irrelevant. Okay. The only thing with the padding, though, being at the top level is... Oh, hang on. This guy here... triggers on has outline field true and is a multi-binding with a sizable number of things on the way in. This conversion, I'm wondering if there's a rounding error. Right? Because this guy's doing math, lots of maths. What property is this being applied to? This is being applied to the floating offset of the hint. Well, if that's the case, we can go and look at that. Right? Let's go look at the floating offset of the hint and see if we see a whole bunch. Because that would also explain why we don't see... This is actually kind of stupid that we're doing this calculation too. Because if the hint is nothing, why are we calculating its offset? Right? So there's probably room for a condition in there as well to say, you know what? If there is no hint, let's just not. Okay, so the hint, and it was floating offset. Okay, so there it is. It does not appear to be changing. Interesting. I was kind of hoping that it was some sort of floating layout, rounding thing or similar. Oh, we gotta put something in here. Weird. Okay, so we're gonna try one more thing. Um, I would like to axe the library, and then I would like to add. Let's see. Browse. I think both of you are pointed at my debug directories. You can see I've done this a couple times. Okay, let me just make sure. So this jumps up. Great. Okay, so let's see here. Now that I've got that, I should be able to go in here, Windows Threads. Oh, no, not threads. What am I thinking? Modules is what I want. And I want hero design colors. And I've got symbol files loaded for this now. Excellent, 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 excellent. Okay, so what I would like to do then, I would like to get myself into a breakpoint. Specifically with that lovely little converter and see if you are firing repeatedly. So I'd like to be here. I'd like to be here. I'd like to be here. We're going to just stop execution for the moment because I don't want you to think too hard. Oh, please tell me you aren't internal. You are. You are. I heard public because we are just doing all debug builds real quick. Go be public for me. I do apologize for everybody who's been bit by the fact that these things have been made internal. Oftentimes, they're made internal for the purpose of indicating that these aren't expected to be used. But I've also started moving things to an internal namespace, and then leaving them public. I starting to come to the conclusion that that's the better compromise, because then it allows people to use them if they want, but hopefully clearly communicates that, yeah, that's not really supported. Okay, so I want to be here. Importantly, I want to be here. Okay, and I want to disable this breakpoint. Populate you. Back over here. We're gonna just check. The key thing here, you'll note this guy has external in the name on his tab. Not obvious because it's collapsed down, but it has the word external. Okay, so we got there. Turn you on. That didn't trigger. That did not trigger. What is going on? Can I catch you here? No. What is happening? Okay, I was really hoping that was going to be it. Let me go back into Snoop. There's got to be an event happening, like a layout pass or a render pass or something that's triggering repeatedly. Yeah. Floating hint text block, size changed. Size change. Size change on canvas. And you can even see it. I don't know if it's coming through, but the cursor's just lagging like crazy. Interesting. Okay. I mean, we can start axing things now and see. I'm still really skeptical of this floating hint thing. So let's come down here. Let's turn off the floating hint trigger. Specifically because it triggers on this. And it could be more than one thing happening here, right? It could be one of these property setters that's going into something else and that's triggering it. But let's get rid of that for the moment. Trying to look and see. Because this thing is also bound to actual height. And so it's giving me pause, making me think that this thing's bound to the actual height of the control, but if this floating offset then changes the height, it gets into a circular loop, which would not be good. We come over here and we go rebuild, pick up the latest material design. And that's still very much problematic. As soon as you attach Snoop to it, it goes crazy. So Snoop looking at it is exasperating the problem too. Going on. Okay, well, we can chase this by trial and error too. Okay, so that's clearly not the problem. Let's see here. Let's see. Has outline text field. Let's just hunt these guys real quick. Both of these triggers have conditions that fire on that, so we're going to kill both of them. See if that is problematic. You have a condition that fires on false, unlikely to be relevant. You fire on true, but also on is enabled false, so I'm less concerned about you. Let's see, is enabled true, is keyboard focus true? This is a possibility. Interesting thing there. So, and that would play into the idea of if it were the setting the border on keyboard focus are similar. Those are both false. This one's true. Mouse over. This is once again playing with the border. So let's grab that. And then validation has errors. I don't think this is likely relevant since there's not a binding that should be triggering validation, but we're going to axe it just the same. Okay, we're going to see. Did we get it in that kind of broad shotgun approach? Compile this guy. Okay, so then we'll come here. We'll rebuild this guy. And we will launch. Okay, did we get it with any of that? Yes. Okay, progress has been made. Somewhere in one of those things we just axed is our loop. Yuck. Okay. JC, good morning. Good morning. We are chasing what might be one of the most bizarre bugs I have ever seen. Points awarded the author of this bug report, okay, evaluation required, no evaluation required. This is straight up a ludicrous bug. If in this text box you type a letter or a character and click the button, you don't get the foreground colors on the dialogue that pops up. Alternatively, if you change the width of this text box that's completely unrelated to anything else, it will also work. Right? So, yeah, the I kid you not part is just epic. I had to look at it this weekend and had to give up. Well, so far what we have determined. So the cheater mode for this is I whacked the NuGet package reference and I directly referenced the material design DLLs. And then I went through and said, okay, I've got those in my material design project. We, through a process of trial and error, we determined that it is a combination of the has outline text field being set to true and the padding that was being applied on the style. The combination of this and this triggers it. So if we go to the base style and just set these two properties, it reproduces. So then I have commented out everything that looked relevant to it, and the problem went away. I am strongly suspicious. Did the easy not a bug? Yeah, I saw the PR, and I believe I queued your thing to come in, which I appreciate that. I hope it merged. Yes, yours merged. The this one here, I'm gonna pause a little bit. I'm gonna hold the release, and give Andrew a chance to look and see. The short version, he fixed a bug, but it caused this other bug, and I don't like trading bugs. So we'll see what happens. This one here is. Did I lose it? Maybe. Um, Dang it! I lost the bug. Where was I? Okay, open. I clearly clicked somewhere where I shouldn't have. You know what? Milestones 5-0. Yeah. This guy here. So yeah, this and the short answer is if you open Task Manager, the subtle hint is you see your CPU just constantly spinning. So something is triggering that's causing it to be in functionally an infinite loop. It's not actually an infinite loop. I suspect it's like one binding is triggering a size change, which is causing a layout pass, which is triggering another layout pass and load layout pass. Like I suspect that's the behavior we're getting here. Okay, so we've narrowed it down briefly. We are going to do this. Okay, we're gonna bring back the ones that I don't think are relevant. I don't think either of these are relevant. So let's build this guy and then we will retest. I'm just gonna, we're gonna trial and error our way to victory. I'm really surprised it wasn't the converter on the hint. Really surprised. Because I kind of expected that. That one looks so promising. Okay, so here. I go here, works. Okay. So we are okay, so we're in a good okay, so those ones are fine. It's not one of those. Okay? Let's just work our way up. Keyboard focus. This one possibly, right? We had to type into the text box. Maybe. Build that. Come on. And my Visual Studio's been dog slow today, which has not been helping. Okay, come here. Rebuild. It really likes launching on the wrong monitor. Okay. Oh, that's an interesting thing. Oh, I bet you it's because of the triggers we've commented out. Okay, that's likely an artifact of the triggers. But it is an interesting thing to note that the Okay. Keep that in mind. Okay, so it's not that one. Just keep working our way backwards. At some point, we're going to land right on the guy. Okay, we'll do both of these together, I guess. Because this is floating. And the only difference between these, well, this is hint floating position. Yeah, so let's, oh, I didn't actually mean to launch the demo app here. We'll let the compile finish. That won't hurt me at all because I need the compile anyway. Thank you. Close. Okay. Come back over here. Rebuild. Launch. Okay, let's see. Is it related to one of those two? Ah. Okay. Okay. We're getting closer. One of you two is my problem child. So I just want to confirm that it is only one of those two. We're going to come back to these. This was the one that I had initially wanted to pin it on because that multi-binding looked suspicious. But let's confirm that that multi-binding, and it's going to be hard if there's multiple ones that have to be enabled together, but we're going to come back to these two, but let's at least give this guy a clean slate for the moment. Okay. And then come here, build you, launch. Okay, we now hit the converter, but that's somewhat expected. We just re-enabled that binding. Okay, so that is all fine. Okay, so which one? Okay, so let's look at these. What are you guys, in fact, doing? I'm immediately suspect of this one over the bottom one, simply because this one is on one of our custom controls and this one is not. So I am going to propose that we put this one back because I think it's most likely this one if I was guessing. But based on the fact that I still don't see it, I don't know. We're just this is coding by like no idea what's wrong. So we're just gonna keep poking it and seeing what causes a reaction. Okay. So is it something with our hint control? Aha. Okay. That somewhat makes sense. Okay. Wonderful. Now we're making progress. So ignore the fact that this is green. It's this guy. So now is the question. It surprises me because this is. Is it reading the properties or applying the setters? Hint assist background. I'm willing to bet that it's the background border assignment that's the problem. Because my working theory is that this is a sizing problem of doing that. So I'm going to kill just that assignment. Let's see what happens. Because setting a brush shouldn't cause like circular layout passes. I don't know how that, like, maybe a render pass or two, but I don't know. I don't know how to set a brush and cause like an infinite loop behavior. Let's hypothesize that that's not it. Okay. Okay, we've got it down. We are somewhat confident that it is this particular setter. It's a padding setter, not shocking. Okay. Now, we should confirm the theory. If I put this guy back, do we see the bug come back? Right? We want to see both sides of the equation. You don't want to just test the true case or the false case. You want to be able to guarantee that when you toggle it, you actually see the bug toggle. Okay, so perfect. That is what we expect. Okay, so setting hint background border, or setting the padding on hint background border, is our problem child. Okay, we're gonna start with this. Clear all bookmarks. I don't know what I have bookmarks set to, but clear them. We're gonna bookmark that to begin with, and then let's go a hunting. Where is this guy? That's the only place he's assigned. Okay, so this is the border that goes around the hint. Okay? That does not feel scary to me. And we are changing its padding to have an x value of 4 and its y value to have I guess, the thickness object, getting a horizontal left and right of 4 and a vertical of 0. So y, also comment out the one that you think works to isolate the one setter, not a combination. Yes, no, so this right now, I believe we're down to just this is the only change. I can confirm that on my pending changes though. These are unrelated inside of here. So the only change left in the library right now is this converter, which I made public, just so that we could access it in the other one. But this is the only one left. So with it enabled, it fails. With it commented out, it works. Okay, and it's just a border control, and all we're setting is its padding property. Then the question is, what is the smart hint doing with this? Because we wrap this guy up. Like there's workarounds here where I can go, oh, okay, if the hint is empty, let's just not do any of that garbage. But I'm more concerned with what this guy might be doing internally. Because even if we wrap this up and make the problem go away if the hint is empty, I suspect there is, ooh, this refresh state now immediately gives me pause. On hint proxy focus change. See these are giving me a bit of, there's a twitch factor here. Vertical alignment converter. Where the heck are you used? Nowhere? I know what to do with a converter that's not referenced. Actually, I should just text search it real quick. Is that the same one? Oh, yuck. Okay. Huh. I might have to look at why that's even in there. Okay. The fact that this action here is being put in a dispatcher is giving me a lot of pause because this is the type of thing that could trigger one of those loops, right? Where the action goes through, triggers a visual state change. The visual state change toggles something else. Date gets string. I'm wondering if there is a reason if these two calls have to be inside of the action or if they could be pulled outside. Okay, we are in the broken state, right? Believe we are. Yeah, we're in the broken state now. Okay. Let's go here. And I would like to set up a breakpoint in Smart Hint. Because I want to see if we're just pounding on this. Disable. Because working theory is that's the problem. Is that something about that is what's causing us to loop. Because we should be able to get ourselves into a situation where I can just find a repeated breakpoint that's just ping, 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 ping. Nothing. Really? Really? So you aren't changing, like something's changing repeatedly and it's causing size changes. We know it's triggering layout passes. Okay, so there's one hit. 2, 3, 4. Ah ha 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 ha. Okay, let's dial this thing down to. I'm wondering if the debugger was just slow. I'm slowly losing my faith in you, Visual Studio. Okay, so we're going to trigger that. That way we can keep this up. And I want to be able to have this here where I can watch it. Doesn't do anything. I mean, a single hit isn't that shocking. That's not it. Again, I should be able to get this thing going ping, 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 ping. It's not pinging. Okay, we know the element in question. Let's want to stop it because it's already in the broken state. I want to grab Snoop and see if I can go down to that hint and watch what it does. Because empty is fine. Okay, where's my hint? Where's my hint? There's the text box. Grid prefix. Smart hint should be in this vicinity. Where's the hint? My stupid. Let's see. Grid hint. There we are. Okay. So oh, look at that. It's bouncing between 7 and 8. The floating hint text box is consistently having its size changed. Ah ha 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 ha. Ah ha 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 ha. Got him. Got him. Okay, so let's go back here. I get rid of this. Yeah, that's fine. So it triggers when focus is inside of the box, but not outside. Okay, so width, padding, margin. Okay. Okay, so the margin is being bound. And it is way too far off. Yeah. Yeah, and this is why it happens. It's only when keyboard focus is in there, which makes sense. That was the trigger that we looked at. Right? So the okay, this is making sense because this only triggers. I guess it triggers here. Is floating is outline text field. It's got so I guess the question is where is this margin binding? Right? This guy here. So floating hint text block has a margin binding. We need to find him. That is who we need to find. Let's go hunt this guy down. Floating hint text block. Floating hint text block. Show yourself. Aha. So he lives inside of the smart hint. So even though we're chasing it from the text box side, this exists in the smart hint. Okay, this makes me feel better. This actually makes me feel better. Okay, because use floating is true. Got it. Okay, I feel more, I'm getting more warm fuzzies because this is what I was hoping to find. Okay, so this guy here, him, you're the guy, and you have a margin. Now, this has no margin binding, which means it must be applied via a trigger or something else. Nope, there it is. You have a margin binding that's ye bloody big. Right. And these are scaling. Got it. Okay, so this is... And because this thing is being bound on actual width and actual height, oh, interesting. It's binding the width of itself and the width of its templated parent. So this is the width of the content control. This is the width of the smart hint. Okay. And then what do you do? What do, you lovely, lovely converter who is clearly the source of my pain and suffering? Okay. You do some parsing, you validate some output, you do some stuff. You deal with some alignments. This is almost assuredly the source of the problem. Is you are doing scaling and then multiplication. Like you can just about hunt the multiplication out of here. Animate from center to left. Because all of these things with scale are likely to be the problem. Because these are all offset times scale. Got it. Is use layout rounding true? That's my next question. Use layout rounding is false. I am wondering if this guy should just be doing rounding. Because the reason we're getting bit is because it's bouncing itself back and forth. Are we going to have a problem if we round? We shouldn't have a problem if we round. Okay. Well, let's do some work, right? So we're gonna clean that up. Nope, don't care. Boom. Okay. I don't like that we're boxing every time, but I don't think we have a way. We don't have a workaround for this. Okay. This is always going to be left. It's always the left that's doing this. Yeah, every single one of these is... So we're going to do double round. Right, and we're just going to do something very simple. Math.round. And we're going to take value times scale. Right, that's nothing too fancy. Right, and then we'll just start at the top and work our way down. Right. So this is, we want round offset. Round is the wrong thing. Scale value. That's better. That's more akin to what we're actually doing. Let's see here. Concerns me that I see identical lines top and bottom here. But the difference is the offset value is going to be different. So not worth adjusting. Okay, and then we're going to scale this. The idea is I want to get rid of all the multipliers. This is 1 minus scale. This doesn't work. Okay. Get rid of that. Do that. Do that. I think we can ignore that one that doesn't work right now and circle back to it in a moment. Because I think it's not the one we're hitting. Okay. Okay, let's build this guy and see if that solves our problem. See if that solves our problem. That would make me very, very happy. Okay, your other guy just dropped. Okay, so there's that. Come back over here. Rebuild. Then hopefully this, we're just going for gold. No. Okay. Let's look. Maybe we're in the last case. I just gotta look and see what's going on. Okay, so here. Where are we? There's the hint, and the hint all the way in here, and specifically we want to hunt margin. Okay, so there's that. How are we getting into that state? We should be rounding the left value unless we are legitimately hitting that one last one that I didn't fix. Okay, maybe we'll fix the last one. Oh, I guess I'm not rounding the whole value in a lot of these cases. So it's potentially... Got it. Okay, I did. Okay, so my implementation is just crap. Okay, got it. Implementation crap. Okay, so we're gonna just discard, 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 and yeah, just get rid of those. Okay, so implementation garbage. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we get the left. So in all of these cases, we're always just setting the left side of this. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So thickness, thickness gets, and actually we could probably not have these things return thicknesses because the last three values are always downgraded. Let's make these things double and call it left thickness. Right? So we're going to do that. And then what we will do here is we will return new thickness math.round of left thickness 0, 0, 0. Yep, there. Something like that. And then this guy here becomes double. And this guy here, we don't care about anything but the left value, so we get rid of those. This guy here, offset minus offset times scale, thank you. Hey, Copilot, you want to do this one? It's easy. Okay, fine. Okay, and then here, offset times scale, yes. Here, you want to do this one too? Let's see, end offset plus times, yep, that's correct. Come on. I'm giving you a chance before I... Okay. Too slow. Too slow. Okay, so that goes there. This becomes double. Offset times scale. Yep. Yep. Okay. That gets us through there. No. No. You're wrong. That is not what we want. Okay. So then let's build this guy. We got to close you to let go of the file handles so that he can actually build. This is one of the things to watch out for if you do direct assembly references like this. Is the other app is actually locking the debug directory for this. So while button bug example is running, I can't compile my other solution because it locks my debug directory. Okay, go for gold. Go for gold. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. It's working. It's working. I win. Yes, that was bizarre. That is potentially one of the funnest bugs I have had in a while. We're gonna just go in here. I want to make absolutely certain. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Excellent. 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 Now, I want to double check the demo app to make sure we haven't broken. Thank you, Justin Bieber. I want to make sure I haven't broken any of the floating hint stuff, because there's a real chance of that. All right, so let's go here. Actually, you know what? The fields line up page is actually probably better to look at, because I think text field, combo box, date picker, floating hint. Yeah. I think that looks okay. I don't think there's a way to clear this one. Okay. It is okay. Yeah, just noticing these picker ones sit higher than the others, but I don't believe that's related to this change. If we do that, guess I can clear out all of these. Yeah, it's only the floating hint. Yeah, there's room for some optimization, but we go. Here we go. When in doubt, round. Layout rounding sucks. Sucks. Okay. Wonderful. I can count. I've actually fixed a thing. Okay, create branch. Let's see. We'll call it issue, and then yeah, what are you? 3393? 3393. Okay. Boom. Grab the stuff. I don't think we want to commit all of it. I don't want my launch settings. I don't want dialogues. You don't need to be part of this. That change we don't want to keep. This is the change we want. Fix the converter to round the value. The issue in the bug was the left left margin with rounding causing the UI thread to functionally loop. In UI features from working properly. Yeah, that's a weird one, because it's not like normally when the UI thread gets hung, your app just spins and you can't do anything, and you get, the app is not responding. But because this constantly triggered layout passes, it was kind of like an infinite loop. But it was like every time it went back to, it's like, oh, I'll help you for, no, I got to go do this. Oh, I'll help you. No, I'll go do this. The only thing that kept the app mildly responsive is the fact that the dispatcher inside of WPF has the concept of priority, and user input is given a high priority. And so that's the only reason you were able to like click and do things, is because user input has a fairly high priority in the dispatcher priority queue. And so it ends up actually working. Okay. That, I don't even know how to write a test for that. So we're just not. But you know what? This one is going to make the release notes, because I want to call out the author of the bug for that, because that, and actually maybe I should, what I should do is I should not put this in here. I want to put not the PR, but the bug in here, because this was a good bug report. Like, this was perfect, right? Accurate description, reproduction repo, like perfect. Perfect. Um down the issue, and a will be coming in the nightly. Here we go. Ba-ba-bum. Boom. Done, 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 done. Okay. There's that. There's that. There's that. And then enable auto merge. Enable auto merge. This guy is going to go into 5.0. We're going to do a little fixes pound. Yeah, that one. That way it auto closes for me. And that'll wrap that bug up. Woot woot. Okay, perfect. Okay, I had started saying things were going to end a little early tonight. I'm bold-faced lie. For got caught in rain. What was it? Great question, Izzy. So here, I'll just show you. We eventually tracked it down to the smart hint has a converter that takes in a large number of parameters, some of which are actual width and actual height, and it was multiplying by a scale. So it was a rounding issue. So it was trying to adjust the position of that floating hint. And then because it was, 0. That was the value it reported, but then the actual measured size got rounded and it got shrunk and it didn't come out. So in this case, we don't care about those decimal places. So the solution was the math.round of just tiny. That's the solution, is to just round off the value and not stress about it. And then we checked it and made sure that the existing one still looked reasonable. So yeah, so rounding sucks. Rounding sucks. I shared the link earlier, but let me grab it here real quick. For anybody who missed it, I was on Visual Studio Toolbox earlier this week. Hey, look, yay, it's me. So if anybody is interested in checking that out, I thought it went well, but what do I know? I'm a biased source who was the actual presenter on there. So if you're at all interested in MS Build and how it works, check it out. The repo that I walked through the demos of is there. If I had more time, it would have been nice to kind of dive a little deeper into each of those. So if people are wanting to see more in-depth stuff there, let me know. Happy to always do more on that because I think it's quite fun to do. And then also no stream next week. It is Valentine's Day. I will be spending that with my wife. But back again in 2 weeks. I think that was all the critical announcements. Probably good enough for now, I think. Probably okay. So, as always, happy coding. See everyone next time.